on sports, and you know what? I guess I shouldn't even just say that. I should say that this is a special announcement video, I should say, given to what has happened. I'm sure you already see the header about the things that are going to happen in the future. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make, of course, update videos standalone like this for the future so that you know what's going on. So, even though you already see the header, let's talk about this. As you know, for a while now, I've been trying to get this Cops vs. Community Philadelphia exhibition game off the ground for a while. As you know, I've talked about this before. I've shown you in video and shown you I've actually gone to places to talk to people. You know, not just police officers on the street, but tournament organizers in basketball. You've seen me where I've actually been on the courts and talking about these things. Also, court restoration. You already saw the video I did when I interviewed Kenny Smith on that as well when we were in Germantown. So you know I'm deep into the basketball community. You know this, all right? This is what we do in Philadelphia. It's a huge basketball community, and this is something that cannot be denied at all, okay? And as you know, for a while, I've been trying to get this idea off the ground. So it seems like at times I felt the art of going door to door has just fallen on deaf ears. It's almost like a lost art these days to try and get people to talk to you, you know, face to face right away, or at least talk to somebody and find out who you can talk to in that process, right? So, I took to Twitter today, for those who follow me on Twitter. I took to Twitter today, and you saw a little bit of frustration kind of boil over before I decided to act on it, because I felt as though talking to people face-to-face and getting information out of them, it seems to have not worked as of late. So now I have to come on social media and try to talk to people, you know what I mean, try to get at people. And I shouldn't have to do that, once again, I shouldn't have to do that due to the fact that this is something that's supposed to be for a great cause, you know what I mean? So, for those who did not see what happened earlier on Twitter, this was myself talking to the Philadelphia Police Department as if they were interested, I should say, in having a Cops vs. Community exhibition game within the city. And to be honest, it didn't take long for the police department to reply to me via Twitter. Sounds great, right? They responded in a prompt manner. They gave me some information that I was looking for. But you have to understand that I'm still a little wary about contacting people like this online via email. I'd rather be face-to-face with people. As you remember, before, I went to the police department, actually physically went there to talk to somebody, and I went to 2 different precincts, and they were like, we can't help you. We can't give out that type of information. You know what I mean? That was before. Also, remember, not too long ago, I contacted the mayor, the current administration, about restoration in ball courts and stuff like that, and he gave me an email as well. But that email, they never got back to me at all. Remember that? Also, if you remember a couple years ago, I contacted the mayor of the previous administration when they were in charge, and of course, they just blew me off altogether. So you have to understand, my expectations were kind of low that people would get back to me, via email, all right? Even though they did, give me the information. However, I will say this, not too much longer afterwards, the police department actually called me. That's right, they called me, and Officer Graves, talked about how the police department has had a basketball team for 10 years. That's right, they've been doing this for 10 years, going from scouring parts of the city to play basketball with kids and then afterwards talk to them. Now, here's the thing. When I'm on the phone with Officer Graves, it was interesting that he would bring this up due to the fact that, for a person like myself that has played basketball all around this city, and not once have I heard any baller talk about, this program that has happened. So maybe it just needs more promotion, But God bless him for doing it, you know what I mean? I mean, that's what it takes. Now, within this talk, I can't talk too much about it due to the fact that, we need to hash out some details and stuff like that. So that's what this video is about today. We talked briefly on the phone, and he talked about how, he's got 20 years of experience of running basketball leagues, tournaments, and 10 years with the Philadelphia basketball team. And he asked me, do I have an actual location ball court that I want to nail down, because he feels as though they do this all the time, and that I want to do it annually, because for me, I got a bigger plan in mind, but you got to get your foot in the door. So you have to play ball with whoever first, right? In order to get your own stuff off the ground. So he asked me if I had a specific location, because he said, they are willing to go out there and play with, people. That's not a problem. They have no problem with that whatsoever. So anybody in any neighborhood in Philadelphia, if you think, well, the police don't want to play us, and I know some of you ballers do because y'all talk about it on the court. I also hear some of you ballers talking about, if the police was here and we was balling with them, we run them off the court. Here's your chance. Here's your chance, all right? So he asked me, did I have a location that could, just a location that can be nailed down so they can come and play, set it up and play with the players. Now, here's the thing. Of course, I could have easily said Kensington, Port Richmond, right off the bat. I could have said that right away. But instead, I hesitated. Why? Because I want to hear from you, the community. That's right. I want to know, all you people in Philadelphia, you ballers and everything, I need to know exactly how your ball courts look like, how your neighborhoods look like, how do they feel, because that's the biggest message of all of this. The entire point of the Cops vs. Community program, or at least the exhibition game I wanted to run, was the fact that it bridges the gap between, the frustrations and, from the community towards the police. This way, the police can play with these players. They get to know the faces. They get to know the names. They get to, see, if you build a rapport with them, you have to understand that eventually, when you're not on the court and you see them patrolling in the street, you know who they are now. You know what I mean? They're not strangers anymore. And I feel as though that's one way to settle, how can I put this, not just frustrations, but just any type of animosity towards each other. You know what I mean? This could be a good way, it's a good start. You know what I mean? Like I said, it can bridge the gap. Mind you, the police officer, Officer Graves, his program is called Bridging the Gap. So you have to understand this is something that he's had, been doing for a long time. And of course, me being the new school, want to come in and not change things, but also help out as much as possible, and also make it broader, make it bigger. Because what I have planned is, could be a lot bigger. But like I said, I don't want to condemn what they're doing. I don't want to, throw any shade on what they're doing. What they're doing is a great thing. You know what I mean? So, because I cannot be at 2, 3, 4 places at once, okay? Because I could have easily just said this specific area needs help and that's it, and just ignore all the other areas. I didn't want to do that. I want to give all you Philly ballers, all you people in the neighborhoods, I want to give you an opportunity to let me know exactly how bad or what's wrong with your neighborhoods or what's wrong with your ball courts and things of that nature. I need to know. So please, contact me. Let me know what's going on. On Twitter, send me pictures of what your courts look like or what's going on there, so I know, so I can make it before I make a decision. Because they told me once I nail down a location, they're going to call me in for a face-to-face meeting, and we're going to hammer out all the details, and then it's a go. That's what we're going to do. But I would rather first have the community behind it. You have to understand, guys, and girls, understand, this is not just something you do on the fly, okay? He's had a team, the police officer had a team for 10 years. You know what that means? That means that team has played together for a long time. Regardless if they have new guys coming or not, they've already built chemistry to play. You can't just go to a neighborhood and just be like, you, and you, random people, you're going to play. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no. You need to have, in that specific neighborhood or whatever, you need to have people who are specific, who can work together and be a specific team when you play against the community. Against the police department. So understand that this can be a lot better than, please understand that what I'm asking is for help. And it's not help as in give me money or anything like that. No. Let me know what's going on in your neighborhoods, because I can't get to every neighborhood at once. You know what I mean? Like today, I would like to go down there. I can't. You want to know why? Because I got boxing today, so I can't do it today. I got to teach classes and stuff today. I can't do that, all right? So I won't be able to do anything until tomorrow. That means I'll have to go down to the neighborhood. If you're sending me to a park, that means I have to talk to the people who run, the parks and recreation managers that run the actual park and talk to them first. You know what I mean? Granted, the police do have access to these things, but I also need to have access to these things for myself for the future as well. It's about building, communication, building information, building connections, so that we can make this more than what it, than what it is now, and that's how it should be. So it goes to show you, and don't get me wrong, the police department Officer Graves has made it very well known. They go, throughout the city of Philadelphia and also some parts of New Jersey. You know what I mean? So they are trying to help. They're trying to meet you halfway. All I'm asking is that you let me know the locations. Like I said, 'cause I could pick a location, like I said, myself, and that would be it. But I don't want to do that. I think that's a little selfish. You know what I mean? So please, get back to me as soon as possible on your locations, what your areas look like, how bad the places are, so we know if this place is worse than another place, then yeah, then we'll come out there and look at it and scout it out and see what's going on. And then I'm going to come down and I'm going to talk to the people that are there. You know what I mean? Like I said, I already said I would talk to people who run the facilities, but it's not just them. You also need to talk to the ballers as well and see how they feel about the situation. You know what I mean? Because it starts with us. It does. You can't just have one side of a team and then no one else want to do anything. You also need the community to have your back. So please let me know what's going on before, like I said, I don't want to just make a decision blindly like that, I don't want to. So please, send me the information, send me what's going on, because we're in this together. In order for it to be better, we're going to have to all stick our necks out. I'm sticking my neck out right now to do this, right? All right, I'm going to also need some help on this as well. Like I said, can't be all these places at once. I just can't. So please, let me know what's going on. That is the update for now, because it won't move until I decide a location. And like I said, after that, once I make a phone call, that's it. It's locked in, and then we move on from there. Anyways, let me know what's going on. I will talk to y'all then. Y'all be safe. Until then, keep on playing, y'all. I'm out.